How are you, my fans, sneak peepers, and curious friends? I am difficult and demanding. If you want to know my real name, then hold still, and I might bring your wish to fruition. Before we begin, you can find this podcast show in iTunes, Spotify, iHeartRadio, SoundCloud, Blueberry, Google Play Music, TuneIn, YouTube, and Stitcher. Now, unlike the other people in your life, I actually care about what you think. So meet me halfway, take a tiny moment, and give my podcast and each episode a review rating. This is the I'm Difficult and Demanding podcast, keeping it real, uncensored, and shooting straight between the eyes. The third eye, that is. I am going to hit you with explicit truth. This solo show is outrageously honest and keenly witty with a view into life. Yes, I said life. That's what we do every day when we wake up from sleeping. We are living life. Well, some of us at least. Moreover, I hope to provide you with gut-wrenching laughter and a touch of wisdom. Let's get something straight. Really, really straight. I am truly, actually, habitually, and shamelessly difficult and demanding, and I completely own it. Now, I don't ask for much because I expect and receive it all. I firmly believe that if you expect shit, you will receive shit. What does that mean? Well, it means expect nothing but the best and don't settle for less. Now, as always, I, your host, Tara, am keeping it real and uncensored. Unplug from life and dive all into episode 16 of the I'm Difficult and Demanding podcast, keeping it real on the ridiculous world we live in. Today's show is called Grind and Hustle. Preschoolers and kindergartners are having longer, harder work days than our very own President Trump. A gospel preacher with close ties to Trump is guaranteeing prosperity for those that give 1 month of salary to her organization. She is definitely getting her spiritual gustle on. That's grind and hustle. Trump's tariffs are going to take back the money he quote unquote gave you with that fake ass motherfucking tax cut. Before I begin, I am going to do a call out. What's a call out? Well, it's not a shout out. I am calling out you motherfucking lurkers. If you have entered my world, then be honest with yourself about it. You want to be here, and you know I want you here, so follow me on Instagram and Twitter. Finally, climb aboard and enjoy the entire show, because I am giving you plenty of ridiculous honesty. Once the podcast episode ends, I am keeping it going on my Instagram page at Difficult and Demanding and on my Twitter page at Mrs. D and D. Hi, how are you? I hope you guys had a wonderful week, and thank you so much for coming back. Today in this Come Into My World segment, I'm going to be diving into real issues that people are dealing with. And I think one of the things that people are dealing with in life is that I think they're afraid. And the question I have to ask you is, are you afraid of yourself? Yes, you heard me correctly. Are you afraid of yourself? Typically, with fear, we think of external things outside of ourselves that we are scared of. But when I sit back and I just look at how people are acting and the decisions that they're making and the things that they're saying and doing and not doing, it leads me to believe that we have loads of people who are afraid of themselves. And I'm asking you, are you afraid of yourself? Do you know if you are afraid of yourself? A lot of people are running from who they are, their past, their present, and their motherfucking future. Because like I said before in prior episodes, your life today and your future, it's a sum, it's an aggregate of every single decision that you have made. And I asked you in my last episode, who or what are you making your decisions for? Are you doing things with clarity because you want to do them? Or are you doing things, moving through life, clueless, unaware, lacking clarity? And you haven't taken a moment to really step back and think about what I'm asking you. Everything comes from a source. And what is the source of your actions, your inactions, how you think, what you feel, what you do, what you don't do, what you're going to do? What is the source? What is the catalyst for that? And I think it boils down to fear. As a child, when you're a child, and in other instances in your life, you've had no control at all, nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. And when you become an adult, you're still behaving as though you have nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. You are running, and you're really going nowhere fast because you cannot run and you cannot hide. As an adult, you cannot run and you cannot hide from your past, your present, and your potential future. You cannot run. There's not enough partying, working, drinking, fucking, or whatever vices that you have that is going to help you outrun, forget, outmaneuver whatever it is that you're trying to get away from. You cannot get away from your shit. You cannot get away from your demons. You cannot outrun a goddamn thing. You cannot do it. You cannot do it. Now you're sitting here saying, okay, what is she talking about? You can't outrun your demons. That's what I'm talking about. Whatever it is that's haunting your soul, your spirit, haunting you emotionally, mentally, you cannot outrun it. A lot of us have a tendency to think that the things that are going on in our life, it's outside of us. It's something that's being done to us. And that's true to a certain extent, to a small extent. But when you get down to it, when you really get down to the nitty gritty, it's about choice. It's about decisions. It's about decision making. Like I said before, what happened to you as a child? If you had a great childhood, that's awesome. But that's something also that happened to you. But as a little person, as a child, you don't have much control and you don't have much say as far as your environment and what you are encountering. You are hoping and entrusting that the adults, the role models, the leaders in your life will guide and protect you and equip you for adulthood. But let's keep it real. There are a lot of people who are having kids, have kids that are fucked up, that don't know what they're doing. And it's one generation after next, after next, after next with issues. Now, that's part of being human. We are perfectly imperfect. But unfortunately, a lot of us are not equipped to be living life that's in a balanced, happy, thriving way. Some of you are dealing with anger, anxiety, depression, drugs, alcohol, sex, work. The list goes on and on and on as far as the vices and the manner of escapism that we as humans, we're so creative. We're coming up with shit to hide from what it is that we need to deal with. And let me tell you something about anger. Anger is a real emotion. And anger is truly a deep sadness. Anger is really sadness. If you pull away the curtains, if you pull away the layers, anger is a deep sadness that you are outwardly expressing. Depression is also a deep sadness. But instead of expressing it outwardly, depression is you taking that deep, deep sadness and you're swallowing it and you're swallowing it and you're burying it and you're burying it. And you can't, there's no outcome. There's no end game with this. If you're living in anger with anger, yeah, you're acting like a fool. You're getting it out. You feel great temporarily, but the key word is temporarily. You haven't solved the goddamn thing. You haven't solved shit. You haven't addressed the issue. With depression, no one knows you're suffering.
And if other people do, then, congratulations, kudos to you for sharing that with them. But a lot of people, they're suffering silently. And again, there's no outcome. There's no healing. There's no resolution. Have you ever wondered why you keep ending up in the same fucked up situation with the same or similar fuck all people? Have you taken a moment, taken a step back from your iPhones, fucking traveling, social media, work, friends, family, kids, whatever? Have you taken a step back and really deeply look like, what in the hell is going on? It's like someone is hitting a fucking loop on your life, a repeat on your life. And it's just the same shit just keep happening. It may be a different person. It may be the same person, whatever it is. Have you sat back and wondered, why am I constantly in the same goddamn situation with the same or similar people? And I'm not saying you're in a situation that makes you happy, that brings you joy, bliss, progression, stability, balance. No, I'm not talking about that motherfucking shit. I'm talking about dysfunction here. I'm talking about decision making that is basically eroding, cutting yourself off at the motherfucking neck as far as your goals and where you're trying to get to in life. Have you sat back and thought about, why am I constantly, continuously going through these things? And what most people do is they look at the motherfuckers that come into their life as the reason why they are experiencing what they're experiencing. But about my show, and if you listen to all my other shows, I strip that shit away. I strip the bullshit away and I get to it. You see, people will come to you in your life. But just because someone tries to enter into your life does not mean you have to grant them permission. Again, I like to repeat myself because sometimes I get too deep for motherfuckers and I lose them. Let me repeat this again. You are introduced to someone. You're vibing with that person. But something's not right about that person. But you're having fun with this person. And instead of taking a step back and say, this person is fun, but I can see the signs of some bullshit, some future bullshit. I'm going to keep that person at a distance in a corner. I'm not going to entertain them and bring them into my life. No, that's not what people do. They're living for the fucking moment. And there's nothing wrong with living in the moment. But like I told you before, everything is about balance, being able to pivot, being able to be clear and have clarity on what you're doing, who you're doing it with, and how you're doing it and why you're doing. And people are operating that way. They're just riding through life like it's a motherfucker wave. And you have to do that to a certain extent because there's some things in your life that you have control over. And there's some things in your life you do not have control over. But the one thing that you do have control over is yourself. And I don't think people take responsibility for themselves. They don't take responsibility for their happiness. They don't take responsibility for their sadness. They don't take responsibility for their anger. They don't take responsibility for their choices. I mean, they're sitting around fucking cruising through life like shit is happening to you. No, none of the motherfucking thing is happening to you. You are making decisions that are setting yourself up for this shit to happen. So at some point in time, some motherfucking body is driving your goddamn car. Now, a lot of us like to believe that, we are like a Tesla car that, can automatically drive itself and gets to the final destination. But I'm going to keep it real. You're not a motherfucking Tesla. You can't just enter in a motherfucking address and end up at your goal, your final destination. Life doesn't work that motherfucking way. It doesn't work that way. You cannot enter your final goal and say, hey, luck, fate, other people, get me there. Get me there. Get me there. I don't want to do anything about it. I don't want to do the work. I don't want to do anything. Just get me where I'm going to be. No, you're never going to get to your final destination or goal if you take that approach. And that is where decision making comes into play. And it's the minute, the tiniest things that you're deciding that has a cumulative, a snowball effect that becomes bigger, bigger, and bigger. And then before it's too late, you have some results like, shit, I didn't expect my life to look like this. Why is my life looking like this? How did this happen? Well, this happened because you were making moves in your life, making choices in your life, making decisions in your life that got you to where you are. Now, you may not like what the fuck I'm saying, and that is okay. A lot of people have the same goddamn feeling when it comes to me. They don't like what I'm saying. But if you get out of your feelings and you get into your motherfucking head and you think about what I'm saying, what part are you playing? Are you setting yourself up for success? Or are you stacking yourself up for failure? And I can tell you this, if you're not where you want to be, if you're not where you need to be, then I can fucking connect the dots for your ass. You are stacking yourself up for failure, continuous failure and disappointment. And then when you're continuously failing and disappointed, you're saying life is against you. Life is out to get you. No, life is not against you. It's not out to get you at all. You are out to get yourself. You are against yourself. The only person that's fighting you is you. All these other motherfuckers around you, they're ancillary. They are feeding off of you, your energy. Because if you don't give something life, it never comes to life. If something's in your life and you stop giving it energy and life, then guess what? It ceases to exist. So if something is continuously happening in your life which you do not want, and you are giving it life and you're bringing it to life, you need to turn around, clean that motherfucking mirror, get the crust out of your fucking eyes, put your glasses on, do whatever the fuck you need to do. And you need to look at yourself long and hard because it's you. You have to look, learn, and change. You have to look deep and hard at you, at yourself. You have to learn what it is that you need to motherfucking learn. And the sooner you learn it, the happier you will be. And when you learn it, then you have to come up with a plan to implement that shit and put it into action. Now, part of life is you're going to have things that come in and out that's going to distract, try to take you off course, try to have you second guess yourself, questioning yourself. And that's a part of life. You can't change that. But when you are centered and grounded within yourself and you know yourself, you are like a beacon. You are steady and you're just moving, gliding through the bullshit. And you glide with ease. You glide with clarity. You glide with purpose. And when you're doing that, shit can't fuck with you. It really can't. Because you see the goal. You can recognize the bullshit along the way. And you know how to avoid it. Matter of fact, you become so good that you see the fucking obstacle getting ready to come into your path. And you are able to pivot, turn, and change before the bitch stops you. That is the magic of having clarity. That is the magic of it. How do I know all this shit? How the fuck am I talking about all this? Because I know. And if you haven't listened to my other shows, I also say some crazy off the wall shit, but I also warn you, I will say some things to you from a perspective that you never thought about. I know. One of the reasons why I know is just because I motherfucking know. But the other reason is because I live it. I'm not talking to you about some shit that I just pulled out the motherfucking bushes like I'm picking strawberries. It's nothing like that. I have come from shit that the odds were so stacked against me, I shouldn't be here speaking to you today at all. In any way, shape, or form, I should not be. And I don't need to go into details about that. If you want to know, you'll find out. If I want to tell, I'll tell you. But as far as I'm concerned, if what I'm saying sounds like it makes sense, it logically makes sense in your brain, then you can guess 9 times out of motherfucking 10 that the shit, it makes sense, it's right. And usually the right decisions are the most fuck all decisions to make. Let me give you an example. In January of this year, a lady I don't know, never met, probably would never meet, was attempting to send some money to her sister. And she used this service that's tied to a nationwide bank, and they only need a cell phone number or a telephone number to use to get the money to the person's account. So she accidentally typed in my phone number, and instead of the money going to her sister, the money went into my bank account. And I'm trying to figure out where the fuck the money came from, but shit, I'm not going to look a golden goose in the motherfucking mouth. If it's in my account, the money's in my motherfucking account. So that's what it is. A couple weeks later, someone sends me a text message, and she is basically introducing herself, saying that she was trying to send the money to her sister. The money didn't get to her sister. It went into my account, which, hey, fuck, I already knew it to be true. But I don't know her ass from a hole in the ground, a muffin can of paint. So, I'm talking to her like, first, how did you get my information? Who the fuck are you? I don't know where you're from. Did the bank give you my information? Because I'm digging and I'm grilling her motherfucking ass, because I don't trust any motherfucking body. Like my mama said, and God we trust, and everybody else pays fucking cash. There's no credit. There's no goddamn checks. They pay motherfucking cash. So after I ascertained that she was real and legitimate, and she was who I already knew her to be, because, hey, I need to be safe. Look out for my shit. If you're going around sending money to the wrong motherfucker, and it's taking you 2 to 3 months to follow up on that shit, clearly you got a few screws loose. But shit, I'm looking out for my interests. So then, after her and I go back and forth, and she's very polite, and, she's humble, and she's showing all that, I say, you know what? Cool. I will give you the money back. That is what I said to her. But I told her, I'm not sending you a check because I don't know you. And I suggested that we meet in a public location because, my safety is important and her safety is important. So I suggested that we meet at a time and place. And I told her, unfortunately, I will not be back in San Francisco for a couple of more weeks. So if you want to meet with me and get the money, you're going to have to wait a couple of weeks. So a couple of weeks go by. I confirm that she's going to be there. I let her know what time I'm going to be there. I'm at the location. She gets the money from me. But here's the fucked up part. On the day that I'm going to meet her and drive 25, 30 miles to meet her in San Francisco, it is fucking raining like cats and goddamn donkeys and elephants. Like, traffic was unfucking believable. A 25-minute drive was going to take over an hour. Now, part of me said, I don't want to deal with this shit. I am only going to San Francisco for her ass. Should I do it? Should I do it? And the other part of me is saying, you know what? She wouldn't have come to you if she didn't need the money. And you told her that you would meet her, so you need to get there. I got there like a motherfucking, amazing race, obstacle course. It took me forever. The drive was unbelievable. I gave her the money. I gave her a hug. I wished her well. And then I had to drive back through this monstrous storm to get back to where I lived. And the whole trip was fucking exhausting. Like, it nearly killed me, the drive. And I've been sitting with this saying, what the fuck is this situation here? She fucks up. She sends the money to me accidentally. She calls the company that she used and they can't do shit for her. So that's why she's contacting me. You did the right thing. You gave her the money. But look at where that shit left me. And I am going back and forth on this. Like, should I have postponed it? Should I have rescheduled it? Should I have blew her off? Should I say, fuck it, she fucked up, it's her mistake, and move on with my life? Or should I have done what I did? The point of the story is, the right decision is sometimes fuck all as hell. She got her money back. She had to wait. All worked out for her. But my fucking ass, my black ass, got fucked up 10 ways to Sunday from doing this drive to help her ass. And sometimes doing the right thing, the hardest decisions are the right decisions. And that is what I don't think people realize. You think decision making is fucking easy. No, decision making is not easy. Sometimes doing the right thing is the most fuck all thing in the world. Now, I could have ignored her. I could have not given her money. Any of those number things went through my head because those were the easiest routes to take. But I chose to take the motherfucking difficult route and I got shafted. So I did the right thing and I got shafted in the process. Now you're saying, what the fucking point is this? The point is, sometimes the right thing is the hardest thing that you have to do. And I find that people have difficulty making the right decisions when it comes to their own well-being. It's easier for you to go and help your friends, your family, or other motherfuckers, and then instead of turn around and helping yourself. We have an aversion. We have an allergy to helping ourselves. We make excuses. We placate. We fucking eat our way into comfort. But the fact is, you are the most important thing in the world to you. That's what I said. Yes, if you're fortunate, your mommy and daddy, you have family and support that love you. But if they were all gone, they just disappear like poof one day. You are the most important person to you. You. I was listening to a song on the radio and it said, you ain't nobody until you love somebody. Fuck that shit. That's what the fuck I said. Let me tell you what I said again. Fuck that shit. You ain't somebody until you love somebody. Fuck that shit. First and foremost, there's no way that you can even remotely know what the fuck love is about if you cannot treasure and worship the ground that you walk on. How the fuck can you recognize love, enjoy love, give love when you have self-hatred? When you can't appreciate yourself for the good, the bad, the ugly, and the pretty? Fuck that shit. What I'm here to tell you is you are somebody, whether you have some motherfucking body or not. Because that's another reason what people do. They shack up, they hook up with motherfuckers who aren't worthy of them. And that's what I said. You think just because a motherfucker is living, breathing, has a heart pumping blood that they're worthy. No, the fuck they ain't. Not everyone is royalty. And if you're listening to my motherfucking show, let me tell you this. You're royalty. And you shouldn't be fucking around with peasants. You need to surround yourself with people who see who the fuck you are and worship you as a treasure, as a diamond. And if you can't worship yourself as a diamond, who the fuck is going to worship you? That's why your life is in fucking turmoil, because you are looking for others to give you what the fuck you should already be giving yourself. Now let's get real. Some of you had fucked up childhoods like me, fucked up mommies and daddies. That's cool, whatever. Let's just assume they did the best that they could. Even if you don't agree with me, just for the sake of argument, let's just assume the motherfuckers did the best that they could and that's all they could do. And you still have mommy and daddy issues. Well, this is where you put on your big girl panties and your big boy underwear. Whatever you didn't get as a child growing up, you have to let that shit go and you have to now proceed to give it to yourself. That is what I said. What you did not get from your mother, what you did not get from your father, you forgive them, you surrender that shit, you let it go, and then you step up to the plate. That's what I said. You step up to the plate and you give what you need to yourself. You become the mother and father that you wish you had, the sister and brother you wish you had, the best friend that you wish you have. You become that to yourself. Because when you become that to yourself, it fills those gaps, those voids, those holes, those loneliness in your life. That shit ceases to exist. And when you start to plug those goddamn holes in your own life, your life changes. Your energy changes. Your aura changes. What comes to you changes. You become powerful. You become empowered. You become grounded, balanced, and you are love. And when you are love, you can get love. Snap your motherfucking fingers, blink your goddamn eyes, click your fucking heels like Dorothy. You can get the love that you want. Now, this is some real shit that I'm telling you. And I'm not talking to you this shit because I'm coming out of the air. This is what I practice in my own life. See, I sound crazy because I am. But I am a scorched soul, which means I've been traumatized and been through a lot of shit at an early point in life. And I have a lot of wisdom beyond my motherfucking age. And I'm okay with that. It is what it is. And I'm sharing it with the people who want to hear. If you don't want to fucking hear, I don't give a fuck. Whatever. But I'm telling you what I know. You have to look at your demons. A lot of you are scared to turn around. What I'm telling you is to open your eyes, turn the fuck around and do a 360 and imagine all of your ghosts, your demons, your fears, your vulnerabilities, your pain, your hurt, every disgusting motherfucking thing that makes you uncomfortable. I want you to turn the fuck around and look at it. Look at it. That is the hardest thing you can do, is turn the fuck around and do a 360-degree circle and look at all that bullshit you've been through. Look at it. Because when you can look at it and you can look it in the fucking eyes, they drop dead. Your ghosts, your demons, they fall. Their power is gone. And all you had to do was just look at it. There was nothing else that you had to do, which is turn around and look at it. And it takes a lot of strength and courage to do that. And when you turn around and look at it and realize, man, I'm really just running for myself. I'm running from my memories. Now, some of you may be in circumstances that you have to remove yourself from people that are in your life. That's a different topic from another day. But all the things that you are placating and trying to escape, most of that shit, that's in your memories. That's in your mind. That's in your heart. That's in your soul. And you need to let it go. You need to turn around and let it go. One of the hardest things is acknowledging the who, what, when, where, how, and why. You cannot heal unless you look at it. You got to look at it. You cannot heal your wounds unless you can fucking look at the wound. That's what I said. If you got a boo-boo and the shit is bleeding, you got to clean the shit. You got to look at it. You got to touch it. You got to take care of it. That's the same with your emotional and mental well-being. You got to look at the shit. You got to look at it deep and hard. You got to clean it up. You have to heal it. You have to tend to it. Otherwise, the shit is not going to go away. Now, when it heals, you will have the scars. That's what I said. I'm not going to lie to you and say, okay, it's going to heal and the shit going to look pretty. No, it's not going to look pretty. But the good news is it will heal. The bad news is you will have scars. But scars, I think scars can be a beautiful thing too. And another thing is that you're not alone. I am here with you. And if it comforts you at all, I want you to know that I have been through it. But it will no longer own you. It will no longer control you. You will be in control. You will actually be in control. You will begin to understand and know things that if someone or something is triggering an emotion within you, or you're behaving in a way that reminds you of the old you, then you will know that that is a sign from your own soul, your spirit, your instincts to tell you, hey, you're in danger. Stop what you're doing. Get away from that person. Change what you're doing. Get away from that. So if you don't have to repeat all the horrible things you've been through. I'm asking you to stop running and turn around and look at everyone and everything that has hurt you. Once you can look at it and actually look, the past, it loses its power. It goes ghost. Ashes to ashes, dust to dust. It won't have any power over you. And then you have your power back. Now, most of you probably don't even know what it feels like or understand what it feels like to have power, to have your own power. And then the next problem you have is what the fuck you do with this power? Because you never had it and you don't know how it feels. All I'm saying is fuck that shit. Don't be a survivor. Be a motherfucking warrior. Be brave and experienced. Be a fighter. You have to fight for yourself. You have to fight to love and cherish yourself. Okay? That's what you have to do. Fight for yourself. And it's okay to fight for yourself. I think people think that it's arrogance or it's pride to love, cherish, and no. There's a way to do it. There's a way to do it that's self-honoring to you and self-honoring to others. You have to be a leading example of what it's like to be secure. Plug those motherfucking holes. Don't be scared. Fear causes you to do stupid shit. And fear causes you to miss out on opportunities in life. You know what I say? I say fuck fear. Fuck you and fuck fear. I don't fuck with fear. Matter of fact, I turn into a ravaged ass beast when it comes to fear. You want to come? Bring the shit. Bring it. Let's get it on. I'm not a motherfucking survivor. I'm not a goddamn thriver. I'm a motherfucking warrior. Let's get that straight. So all of you who look at my Instagram page and look at my Twitter page, you see a lot of faces with this war paint or this body paint, and the people look fierce, and it just, I choose those for a reason. Those are my scars that I choose to show in a beautiful light. I don't have a problem being a warrior. I think warriors are graceful, they're wise, and they are very powerful, and they can do wonderful things. So stop being a survivor. Stop being a motherfucking victim and become a fucking warrior for yourself. Fight to love yourself. There will be people around you saying, oh, you think you're too good. You think you this, you think, yeah, think that shit, because you are that shit. And it's okay. When they tell you you shouldn't be that way, you should look at them and understand that that motherfucker has issues, and they need to turn around and look at their own goddamn ghosts, because they don't have any credibility to tell you that you should not worship yourself. So like I mentioned in my last show, if there's ever anything that you need help with, or you want an anonymous, objective, crazy ass source to give you their point of view, all you have to do is hit me up. I won't divulge your details. I probably have a little fun with it, but I will get to the real. I will shut off my fucking craziness and I will get to the real and I will tell you some real shit. You ain't got to like it. You don't have to love it. But I'm not going to lie to you. I'm going to call a spade a motherfucking spade, and I hope that it helps you. So for this week, this is the end of the Come Into My World segment. Stop being afraid. Stop running. Turn around and look and take your motherfucking power back. All right. The next part of my show is starting, and I'm going to be talking about things that are in the news. But if you guys don't know, my podcast is about the ridiculous things in life and the ridiculous things in the news. And the Come Into My World segment is the life part of my segment. Now I'm going to the absurd shit, which is what's going on in the news. So stay tuned and stay with me. I read an article that said that our president's work schedule should be, could be, probably motherfucker is not, from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. And during that time, he takes phone calls and he watches TV and he has executive time. And during the executive time, he is, again, watching some more TV and tweeting. Now, this shit sounds crazy as hell. How in the world you are going to run one of the most powerful nations in the world that's basically operating on some level in some way 24/7, and you have a schedule that's from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. I mean, fuck, even preschoolers have longer motherfucking days than that with the before school and the after school programs. So this motherfucker who said, I will work hardest for you, and criticize other presidents for their downtime during golfing, they said he works from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m., but most days he does not. And during that time, he has 2.5 hours of executive time. Now, if you people don't know what the fuck executive time is, that's called jerking off time. He's not doing shit. He's sitting back, eating his fucking Metamucil and probably getting a fucking butt massage during that time. He's not motherfucking working. Executive time is nothing. That's some time for him to take a goddamn nap in the middle of the day. So we have the president of the United States who doesn't have time to read top secret briefings, but he wants at least half his workday time to be dedicated to TV time. Like, what is playing on motherfucking Sesame Street or Scooby-Doo that this motherfucker needs to see? This is asinine. It is absolutely absurd. And no one's doing anything about it. No one is doing anything about it. And some days, his work schedule is from 11 a.m. to 4:15 p.m. Monday through Friday, I'm up at 5:30 in the motherfucking morning. So how is his bitch ass able to stroll? Matter of fact, he doesn't even have to fucking commute like most of you motherfuckers, okay? He doesn't even have to commute. All he has to do is get his old ass up, get in his motorized motherfucking wheelchair, and pimp down the motherfucking White House to the Oval Office. He's not encountering any traffic. He's not running getting no Starbucks. He ain't doing shit about shit. All he has to do is hop from his fucking bedroom after fucking smothering Melania all night long, trying to hump and pump her ass, and roll his motherfucking ass down to the Oval Office. And even then, he can't manage to work the so-called 7 hours from 11 a.m. to 6. And let's be honest, most days his bitch ass is not working from 11 a.m. to 6. He's working from 11 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. with 2 to 2.5 hours executive time. So how much do you think this motherfucker can get done? And how much do you think this motherfucker understands? He is working on fucking apprentice time. He is running the White House like he's still a TV star, which they show up to record for an hour or two. And the rest of the time is motherfucking relax time, prep time. He's getting fucking manicures and eating fucking bonbons. That's what the fuck he's doing. This is just, it's just wrong. Wrong. And again, the lying machine, Sarah Huckabee Sanders, says that his executive time includes a mix of residence time and over office time. Okay. Now, you and I both know, all you might call the motherfuckers who work from home, you and I both know damn well when you're working from home, you're not working all the goddamn time. You know it and I know it. So if you're not working all the goddamn time, what the fuck is this residence time? Like, you're not even working 8 hours a day, and you work at home. Your office is attached to your motherfucking home. And even then, you can't crank out any work. You need to take a fucking nap during the day like a fucking preschooler or a geriatric or old ass mother. See, please, I'm getting worked up. I'm getting worked up. I'm getting worked up. How did you folks think that this man who has a TV schedule and, like I said before, has someone to wipe the piss drip from his dick? You know, when he finished peeing and he thinks he's done and still there's some drips coming down from his dick, he has someone to wipe that shit from his tip. You actually believe that he was going to work can I at least ask for 8 hours? Other presidents work 10 hours, 11 hours. And he's golfing every motherfucking weekend. This is not serious for him. Your woes, your concerns are not serious for him. It's not serious for him at all. This shit is a motherfucking joke. And if he could, he would fire your ass. He would say, you're fired. You're fired. All you fucking citizens that voted for me, you're fucking fired. That's exactly what he would do. He would fire all your fucking asses. Because he got what he needed from you. He no longer needs you. So he would fire your motherfucking ass. And the lying machine, Miss Sarah, says that the president is one of the hardest workers she has seen and puts in long hours and long days every day of the week, all year long. Okay. So, what is he doing on the golf course then if he's working that long? I mean, all I can see is he's swinging a motherfucking stick. And no, I'm not talking about his dick. I'm talking about the golf stick. The club. That's all he's doing. So how is he working hard? He's flying down to his hotel every fucking weekend, which you and I both know that's not work. And he's working half-day schedules like preschoolers to run one of the greatest, most powerful nations in the world. This shit, it's so ridiculous. You would think it's not true, but it's absolutely true. All his top secret briefings, he gets that shit from Fox News. He's not reading the fucking reports of the CIA and NSA and all these people coming up. He's not reading that shit. Why read when you can have somebody tell him what he needs to know? He might as well send that shit over to Fox News. Fox News can read that shit because what he gets from Fox News. He doesn't read what the fuck is being prepared. I don't know what we've done wrong as a nation that this would happen to us. And I keep saying it every single time. It doesn't matter if you're Republican. It doesn't matter if you're a Democrat. This is a fucking farce. It's like, it's just a joke. It's a joke all the way around. And this stuff it's going to haunt us for a long time coming. We have to fix this shit. Someone's going to have to fix this shit. And I don't see it happening. You have a president who knew when he was running, he actually worked harder during his campaign than he's working in his presidency. Yeah, that's what I said. He worked harder to win the presidency than he is in the office. And it's absolutely insane. So if any of you people ever want to have a work schedule like our president, quit your motherfucking job, buy a blonde raccoon to put on your motherfucking head, get a custom suit, try to get on some reality TV show, fire a few fuckers, and then run for president. That's all you gotta do is to be president of the United States. That's all you gotta do is put on a nice suit, wear a blonde ass motherfucking raccoon, file for bankruptcy a few times with your businesses, get on a reality TV show, get popular there, fire a few bitches there, and then you gotta run for president. And all you gotta do is tell people what the fuck they want to hear, and they will vote for your ass in America. Welcome to the United States of America. Don't you love democracy? I love it. And I love it so much that I'm hoping that we can fix the shit very, very soon in the midterm elections and when he runs again in 2020. But, hey, if he can work half day like my fucking 2-year-old, then hey, I guess I shouldn't be hating. That's what I'm doing. I'm hating. Call me a hater. I'm hating. But hell yeah. I mean, shit, if I can be the most powerful person in the world and not do a damn thing, then it makes sense. I want it. Would you? Paula White is a prosperity gospel preacher. Prosperity gospel preacher. And she has close ties with our President Donald Trump. And Paula, She is calling on her followers to send donations of up to 1 month salary. Shit. Pimping ain't motherfucking easy. So, shit. If you can't become president, the next thing you need to do is become a gospel motherfucking preacher. That's what you need to do. You need to become a gospel preacher. She's asking people, she has the audacity to ask people for 1 month's worth of their salary. And she said, those who don't pay up could face consequences from God as he demands the dough as first fruits of offering. Now, please forgive me in advance before I get started. Please forgive me in advance. That's what I need to say. Please forgive me. Just automatically decide that you forgive me because I am getting ready to get goddamn started. That's what I'm getting ready to do. She wants her followers to send her 1 month of salary. And she said they will suffer consequences as God demands the dough as first fruits of offering. Why does God need a motherfucking middleman? Why? Well, in this case, why does God need a motherfucking middlewoman? If God wants 1 month's worth of my motherfucking salary, hey, I can give it directly to God. Why do I need a middleman? What? She gonna cut off her portion? She gonna cut off her piece, her portion? That shit sounds like a motherfucking scam. That sounds like a scam. Now, if God came down and said, you know what, Tara, give 1 month's worth of salary. If he came to me, I was walking outside and a bush started burning. And that bush started talking and said, give 1 month's worth of your salary. First, I'd be like, wait, what? This bush is burning and it's talking to me? Shit. You know, I'll get the money. I heard you, God. I will get you that motherfucker. I will get you the money. Where you want me to mail? Where you want me to mail the money? You want me to mail it to the North Pole, the fucking South Pole, the heavens? You want me to send it by pigeon? How you want me to get you your money? That's what I would do if God came to me. God is not talking to her motherfucking ass. Just because she can read a Bible. What makes her a prosperity gospel preacher? Did she go to school? Did we witness the ceremony in which God came down and said, you know what? I have ordained you to be a prosperity gospel preacher. Like, why is she throwing prosperity in the mix? That's the first scam. That's a pyramid scheme right motherfucking there. Send me 1 month's worth of salary. Because if not, God's going to suffer the consequences. That is weak. That is fucking whack. Why is she throwing God into the mix? Trying to scare the life out of people to throw away what they've worked hard for just so to pay for her fucking Jaguar? That's wrong as hell. That is wrong as motherfucking hell. But people are doing it. People are giving her the first fruits offering. Now, hey, light bulb just went off in my head. Technically, if everyone is supposed to be giving up to 1 month's salary as first fruits, then all the money that's being sent to her, which is basically her salary and upkeep, she should be given first fruits too, right? Technically, if everybody's supposed to be giving first fruits, why would her ass be exempt from giving first fruits? Like, what makes her motherfucking ass different? Just because she says she's a gospel preacher? I mean, shit, I can become a gospel preacher right now. I can call this my gospel show. I'm difficult and demanding gospel show. It's not right. We don't need a middleman to give on behalf of the Lord. We don't need a middleman. When you pray, you're praying directly to the source. Or are you giving your prayers to her and asking her to fucking UPS, FedEx your prayers directly to God? Come on. When you see her riding around her fucking custom ass fucking Nordstrom or Neiman Marcus suits, you think God gave her that? No, she's using your money to come off more successful than what she really is. She's a con artist. She's a scammer. And unfortunately, she's doing it in the name of something that is sacred and more holy than her ass will ever be. 1 month's worth of salary, you're going to suffer the consequences. Life is hard enough as it motherfucking is. Life in itself is a goddamn consequence. All the shit that's constantly going wrong and you're having to make decisions and the stresses and all this other bullshit we have to do with, life is a consequence on itself. So then you have a motherfucker who's taking advantage of you in a vulnerable state of mind. You go to religion. You go to church. You go to service for solace, for peace, for balance, for stability. You're not going in to be motherfucking threatened saying, hey, if you don't give this, God's going to strike you dead. First of all, God needs to strike your motherfucking ass dead because you're wrong. You're robbing people. You're exploiting people. You're manipulating people, saying, give me this. And there's no proof. Did you write a check to God? How do you prove that you're giving the money to God? Let's first ask this. And how do you prove that God specifically told you to give up to 1 month's worth of salary? Let's keep it real, because I know motherfucking lies. If a priest can molest a child, then you and I both know this prosperity gospel preacher is more than likely motherfucking lying. And I don't give a fuck if you don't like what I'm saying. God is love. God is pure. God is light. God created all that exists in front of us today. Light and darkness, all of it. All of it. So how's a motherfucker going to sit here and tell me that, hey, you need to give up 1 month's worth of salary or you're going to be struck dead? Huh? So all the people who haven't given up to 1 month, who have not given anything at all, they're still walking around living. Huh? How does that make sense? How you going to explain that shit? Explain it to me. I want to hear that motherfucking explanation. How are you going to make sense of that? People use the most audacious stuff to get you in a position to manipulate you, to steal from you, to extort you, to bribe you. And it's sickening. When you give it because you want to. Don't give it under the guise of threats, holy threats, sacred threats. Don't do that. If something speaks to your heart, then it speaks to your heart and you do it. If you want to give her up to 1 month's worth of salary, then give the bitch the money. But don't give her money because she's threatening that you're going to have consequences if you don't give up the 1 month's salary. Don't believe bullshit. People will motherfucking lie. They will lie because they can lie. That is why they lie. I don't know any other reason. We all know a lie is a motherfucking lie. We know the lie is not the truth. We know it's not the truth. Has she outlined what consequences people are going to suffer? No. What she does is she plants seeds. She's a fucking seed planter. A seed planter is not a person who works on a farm. That's a seed planter too. But no, she's another type of seed planter. She puts shit in your head with such great confidence. And because she has the title of a quote unquote prosperity gospel preacher, you will automatically assume that she's sacred, that she can part the motherfucking Red Sea, that she's something special. And then she takes that and you take that and you run with it. It's some more fear. What I tell you about my first segment of my show, Come Into My World, is fear. You should not do anything out of fear because it hinders your judgment and your decision-making abilities. You cannot think clearly with fear. Now, God is all of us. So if you want to give a 1 month's worth of your salary, you know what? You can give directly to helping people, to making the world a better place. You don't have to pay her. You don't have to pay her motherfucking Jaguar XL car fucking note and her big ass mansion in the fucking Texas suburbs. You don't have to pay that shit. Let her ass get a real job like the rest of us. Instead of extorting innocent, loving, God-fearing people. Let her work for her shit. Because right now, she's no different than a man who was the star on The fucking Apprentice. She's a con motherfucking artist. That is what she is. So, when you keep for your... okay, let me stop here. She said, when you keep for yourself something that belongs to God, you are deserting, or no, she said you are desecrating what is to be consecrated by God. Yeah, you hear that long pause for me. It's a long pause for me. This is crazy. You know, when you read the Bible, Jesus Christ didn't go around asking for money. He asked for kindness. He asked for love. He asked for understanding, support, bread, water. That's what he asked for. He didn't ask for people's money. He asked for things that were nutritious and give life to his body. And the American dollar, which didn't exist back then, but he wasn't asking for money. He was asking for us to take care of one another. That's what he was asking. And to take care of one another, it was free will. It was free choice. It wasn't for desecrating and consecrating and all these other fear-mongering bullshit these people put out here for. God is love, and people can take any book, sacred or not, and twist and manipulate the words to present it to be their version of the truth. And if they present it in a way that unnerves you, that hits a sore spot, that feel that those voids I was talking to you about in my first segment about coming to my world, how you need to fill your own voids instead of relying on other people. Because when you rely on outside sources to comfort you and to fill your voids, you are setting yourself up for a high chance of getting manipulated and conned. That's what I said. You're getting yourself set up. You're setting yourself up to be motherfucking conned. And that is what she's doing. She said the first fruits of your money are money which supernaturally unlock amazing opportunity, blessing, and favor. Divine order for your life. And she wants the offering sent as offering to her ministries. So technically, all these other churches and everything else that exists, you could send your money to any one of them. It doesn't specifically have to be her ministry. So if she was actually working generously in the honor of God, our Lord, she wouldn't need the money go specifically to her. She would say, send it to any organization that's working on behalf of making this world a better place for God. Why is she sending it to her? Because she takes a portion of it as her salary. That's what she does. And then she says, when you give the money, it's like you're paying for God's blessing. Let me tell you, God loves you no matter whether you give him money or not. The kindness of your deeds, the kindness of your words, your actions are enough payment for God. You don't have to pay for love from God. All you have to do is be pure of heart and mind and soul. And that is payment enough. That is payment enough. So if someone is telling you, you need to pay me money to get blessings from God, no. If you read the Bible, God asks you to take care of thy neighbor, take care of yourself. All the rules that you're supposed to live by are in the book for you to read by yourself. And none of it says, give money to a fake ass prosperity gospel preacher. That's not what he says. We're supposed to make the world a better place. Not hoodwink, not lie, not manipulate, not exploit. Make the world a better place. So the next time a motherfucker decides to give themselves a title that seems important or may scare you and make you uncomfortable, you need to think very long and hard about what the fuck you're saying to you. Because people put up a lot of smoke and mirrors and present themselves as things that they're not. And the key word is motherfucking not. God is light and love. And when you're dealing from a stance of purity and love, you don't have to buy it. Do you pay for sunlight? No, God gives it to you for free. Do you pay for moonlight? No, it's given to you for free. Do you pay for the motherfucking air that you breathe? No, you do not. It is free. And the only reason why you pay for water is because we live in the suburbs and we live at home and we need the pipes to transport it. Otherwise, water was given to us for free. So don't listen to stuff that people put that are lies, that are shit that are made up in their own head to say this is what God didn't say that. Everything that you need in this world exists because of the Lord. And it was given free of charge. It was only until man got involved and started distorting, contorting, and twisting shit that this got complicated. Love is very simple. Love has always been simple. Hate is also simple. You can't have one without the other. You can't have light and darkness. You cannot have on and off. You cannot have love without hate. You cannot. But if someone's saying you got to pay for some shit that's already free, I'm telling you now, the motherfucker's lying. Red flag, white flag, rainbow flag. I don't give a fuck what kind of flag you motherfucking like. You can have you put whatever motherfucking flag you want to put up. But if a motherfucker's telling you need to pay to be blessed, that's a fucking lie. The pure fact that you exist is a blessing and a miracle in itself. You were given life. And if something more powerful than you gave you a life right now that you're here listening to me, that was free. Anyone or anything that loves you and are here to help you and take care of you, they give it with no strings attached. So next time some motherfucker says, if you want to live a great life, pay me 1 month of your money, tell them to kiss your motherfucking, actually, tell them to kiss my ass for you. They're not even worthy of kissing your ass because you're too special. Tell them to come kiss my ass because I'm waiting for them. I'm waiting for that punk bitch lying the motherfucking ass. Tell them to come see me. Stop falling for people's bullshit. We're too precious. We're too blessed to fall for the stupidity that humans like to do. Let's get smart. Let's get smart together. The last thing that I want to talk to all of you about, I'm not going to go into great detail this time around, but I just want to touch on it because it's something that's happening right now in the news. And there's a lot of there's been a lot of news coverage about tariffs on the steel and aluminum that's coming in from other nations outside of the US, which are called imports. And I have to tell you that how it's being presented by our government, our administration, it's misrepresenting things. And I'm going to simplify this as much as possible and go into it a little bit detail at a later date, but I want to touch base on it because I have a little bit of time now. Tariffs are like a tax. It's making something that costs $10 now makes it $15 because the $5 that's added is basically the tariff taxation. Our administration, our government is adding a tariff to steel and aluminum because they're saying that our nation is in jeopardy because of our fledgling weak steel manufacturers and aluminum manufacturers. And I'm sure that that is true, that those industries are suffering. But let me tell you something, why they're suffering. I got to get it real really quickly, but I want to keep it real. Anything that's fledgling, suffering, that means they are not efficient. They are not good at what they do. And if other people are able to sell steel and aluminum at a cheaper price, that means they have found a way to be as efficient as possible to make it cheap for your benefit. So now our government wants to increase the price of foreign steel and aluminum, saying this price increase is going to help the steel industry and the aluminum industry in America. It's going to bring jobs back. I need to keep it real. I'm going to keep it real. If these industries in the US are suffering, they're suffering because they're doing shit the wrong way. And instead of them investing goddamn technology and investing in the people in those industries so they can get more efficient, they become more weak, and their profits suffer. And that is why the industry is not growing. If you can buy an orange from store A and buy the same orange at store B, and it's cheaper at store B, why the fuck are you going to go to store A? You're going to go to store B because store B is doing it better, giving you the same shit at a better price. Well, that's the same thing with steel and aluminum. Someone else is doing it better. So if you can't cut it, either shut the shit down or reinvest and find out how can you improve. That is what you do in capitalism. And with those tariffs, it's going to make something that costs $10. It's going to make it, let's say hypothetically, $15. Now, foreign steel will cost $15. But that means that gives the companies in the US, it gives them the ability to raise their prices higher. So these motherfuckers are able to charge a higher price for a lower quality. Now, does that seem right? Does that seem fair? Our so-called Mr. President, the motherfucking deal maker who makes the deals of the fucking year, is basically helping someone who's not good at their job. This motherfucker started a show called The Goddamn Apprentice, and he fired sons of bitches for not even being able to do a reality TV show. So how is his punk ass going to give an advantage to someone who's not equipped to have the advantage? Industries come and go. There was a time where we did heavy manufacturing, and that stuff was out shit because you know what? Someone does it better. What is wrong with someone else doing something better? We cannot be good at every motherfucking thing. We cannot. Some people are, but most people cannot. That is why people have a career. You find something you're good at. You find something you motherfucking hate and ain't good at. But either way, you're doing it, and you're good at it, and you keep doing it. Jobs don't hire people typically. Jobs don't hire people. People don't hire, employers don't hire people who aren't good at what they fucking do. And when they find out later that you can't do the job, they fire your ass. So why is it that the people in the steel and the aluminum industries, why are you helping them? Why are you giving them a hand up? Why aren't you telling them, look, you need to change what you're doing. You need to restructure. You need to sell some things off. You're too big. You're inefficient. Why are they not telling them that? Why are they allowing them to increase prices? Because at the end of the day, if they're telling you it's not going to impact you, bull motherfucking shit. Let me tell you why. If the steel and aluminum industries are losing money in the U.S., which they are, because they cannot compete. Like on a sports team, when a motherfucker can't compete, you cut his ass, right? Well, here, President Trump is giving welfare. That's what a tariff is. It's a welfare. It's welfare for the steel and aluminum industries in this country. Instead of them to say, get your shit together, get smarter, he's giving them welfare. Now, if they're not efficient right now, what the fuck you think they're going to be doing now? What they're going to do is they're going to be able to charge a higher price. Anytime supplies cost higher, the end price for the consumer goes up. So your car, your motherfucking cans of soda, and all these other things that require steel and aluminum is going to cost you more because these businesses exist. They produce things for someone to buy their shit. That's how business works. Someone makes, someone does, the other person pays. That's how the shit works. Well, if supplies and labor cost more, that means the cost to produce the shit goes up. And no one's in business not to make a goddamn profit. No, people are in business to make motherfucking money. So if he's raising the price of imports, which means that domestically they're going to raise their prices, the only person it's impacting is your goddamn wallet. I don't know how many ways, how many fucking days do I need to get the shit in your brain. They're lying to you as they normally motherfucking do. Farm equipment, guns, whatever the fuck you use that requires steel and aluminum, it's going to cost you more. So they're taking away fair pay. They're taking away safe work environments. And they're raising prices on shit, impacting you at the end of the day. You and I will talk about this further later, but I'm telling you, it's going to cost you more. You already know the Trump administration lies. You know Sarah Huckabee Lying Machine Sanders also motherfucking lies. And you know our motherfucking president lies. And anyone associated with them, from John Kelly to the Hicks girl, whatever her that fucking first name is, all those motherfuckers, they lie. You can call it a white lie, a yellow lie, black lie, red lie, call it whatever the fuck you want. But in my world, a lie is a motherfucking lie. They're lying to you. These tariffs will have an impact. If we put tariffs, other countries are going to say, okay, you want to play this game? We can play this shit too. Trump saying trade wars are easy to win? No, the fuck they're not. America is a consumer-driven economy, which means we like to buy shit. We like to shop. We like to shop, bitches. We like to shop. That's what the fuck we do. We like to buy motherfucking shit. Well, you can't buy much if the prices are going the fuck up. So, you need to think very long and hard about what I'm saying. And you need to make a list, like I am, of reasons not to vote for reality, punk, bitch-ass reality stars, and figure out what our next steps are. But don't believe what President Trump's advisors, trade advisors are saying. It's all a motherfucking lie. America is a great place, but we cannot be good at everything. We have to specialize, and we have to do what we do well and focus on that. If a hoe or a pole dancer starts trying to be a motherfucking brain surgeon, you're going to look at that bitch saying, what the fuck are you doing? Get your ass back on the pole and shake your shit. Don't be operating on motherfucking brains. You can't do that. So if America's good at innovation and technology and doing all those things, then that's where our money is. That's where our money lies. That's where our power lies in innovation. We need to do that. And we need to let other people do what they're good at. We can't be every motherfucking thing, because when you try to be everything to everyone, you end up being no one. You end up being no one. You end up being nothing. You have to be good at something. You have to specialize. You have to. As people, as states, as a government, as a nation, we have to specialize. I'm telling you, they're lying to you. And I'm telling you, it's going to impact your pocket. And I'm telling you, he's helping these industries to make his buddies rich, because Donald Trump builds motherfucking buildings. He builds skyscrapers. What do skyscrapers use? Let's guess. It uses steel and motherfucking aluminum. Okay? He is helping his friends and his business partners get rich so it would benefit him the next time he builds one of those fucking gaudy ass Trump International hotels or residences. That is what he's doing. Do you hear me? That is what he's doing. And you are going to pay for it, my love. You are going to pay for it. Are you disappointed this has come to an end? Well, it doesn't have to. Reach out and let me know what you think about this episode and my podcast. You can try and slide into my DM, but I will kick your ass out. So I suggest you hop into my DM on Instagram at Difficult and Demanding or Twitter at Mrs. D&D, or leave a comment on one of my posts. Now give. My episode links to friends, family, associates, frenemies. Hell, give it to your enemies. Actually, I don't give a damn who you give it to. Just give the shit to people and bring laughter to others and show your love for this podcast. Goodbye. Until we say hello again. Episode 17 is coming soon on March 16th, 2018 from the I'm Difficult and Demanding podcast, keeping it real on the ridiculous world we live in. Follow me on Instagram at Difficult and Demanding and Twitter at Mrs. D&D.